Hey guys, so there have been a few questions or things you wanted me to check out in the last couple of weeks, so I got enough stuff for a new video where I answer these. The first one is from Ryu Fujikawa, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, and his comment is from the video where I killed the Heart of Ender without using weapons. And he was suggesting that I could try defeating the Mushroom Monstrosity with no weapons or artifacts. After thinking about it, I feel like it's more of a challenge, but sure, why not, let's do it. Now, while I was looking at the mystery merchant for a good Shadow Walker to do this, I found this armor here. While my original concept was different, I thought maybe bees and acrobat together with the bat and the damage boost aura could work pretty well too. Then I just picked potion barrier to have some way of protection. And that's already all we need, so let's start a cow mission on Apocalypse 7 and quickly run to the boss. Now that we are here, we unequip everything and only equip that armor. And then we start the boss fight. Now you can see that the bees are affected by the damage boost aura, but sadly the damage is a lot lower than what I expected. In fact, the fight took so long that I'm going to speed up the footage in between the interesting points a lot. And I might even do some small cuts in between. The first bigger problem I didn't think about before have been the cows summoned by the boss. Dealing with the cows was pretty stressful as I had no healing and the bees didn't do much damage. As I had only 3 bees and nothing to deal AoE damage with, just clearing the cows often enough took so long that the boss would spawn the next wave of cows when I just cleared the previous ones. As I had no boots of speed or a ghost cloak to dodge his attacks, and having to use the roll to do damage by summoning bees, it was nearly impossible to properly dodge his attacks while the summoned cows have been there as well. So after dying 2 times and getting pushed off the cliff once, I knew I had to think of a more reliable strategy than just rolling around him. So I made use of the little cliff on the top right side of the arena to keep distance between the boss and myself. I also kept rolling against a corner of the cliff to summon bees to attack him. In the end, this turned out to be the winning strategy for me. The whole fight took about 15 minutes and I really don't want to do that again. But I have learned something really important from that, and that is that bees are weak and are not worth using at all. I killed the boss in the end, but as this was not how I originally planned to defeat the boss, I wanted to do that again, but this time using a Shadow Walker armor with the following enchantments. Fire Trail for damage, Acrobat to reduce the roll cooldown, and Electrified for even more damage. Now the strategy here was really simple, rolling against the boss until he is dead. As this goes really smooth and surprisingly fast, at least compared to the previous method, there's nothing much for me to say about that. These spawned cows were no big issue as this time all the damage we had was AoE. I only made one mistake when I didn't pay attention and got knocked off the cliff here. Trying to get back was rather difficult and I lost a lot of health doing so just to roll off the cliff again myself by mistake directly after I just got back to him. Then I made use of what I've learned previously and used the cliff to get him to walk towards me and quickly finished him off. Now, as interesting as this was, I will not do any Mushroom Monstrosity things again as it just takes way too long, and by that taking way too much time of this video without really showing anything. Anyways, let's continue. Next thing is the question if the damage of the fireworks arrow is increased by artifact or range damage. Now this question wasn't targeted at me directly, but was asked in the public Discord. Nonetheless, as this question comes up pretty often, I wanted to give a quick answer to that, as both is definitely not the correct answer. Without anything, this fireworks arrow I have here dealt 6504 damage. A splendid robe increases artifact damage by 50%, so let's have a look at how this affects it. Now, as you can see, the damage did not change and is still at 6504. So let's equip an archer's armor now and have a look at that, as this armor increases range damage by 30%. And as you can see, the damage went up to 8455 now, and this confirms that range damage affects the fireworks arrow's damage. For the last question, Cosmic asked to try an armor with 35% damage reduction, protection, potion barrier and an Ironhide amulet. Now the tricky part was to get the armor in the first place. After 1 hour of trying to get one, I decided to simply give myself one. For that I created a clone of my character because I do not want to do any editing on my main character's file. I am telling you this so you don't have to ask why my inventory was empty here. Then I quickly put on a different armor with no protection just to see how much damage we take without anything. And here we see that the zombie did hit me for 933 damage without any damage reduction. Going back with the right armor equipped and activated Ironhide but without potion barrier, we took 343 damage. That makes an overall damage reduction of 63.24%. Going back once more using everything including potion barrier, we now only take 80 damage. From the original value of 933 damage, this is a damage reduction of 91.43%. That is really close to the 90% that potion barrier tells us in its tooltip. By that, my conclusion is that potion barrier seems to override all other damage reductions except the protection enchantment itself. If you just reduce the base damage of the zombie by 15%, you are left with 793 damage, and reducing this by the 90% of potion barrier would leave you at about 80 damage. Anyways, using any other damage reduction together with potion barrier is nothing I'd recommend. Also, of course, I deleted the clone after I was done with testing. And if you have anything you want me to check out, let me know down in the comments below and I'll do so next time. Now, that is everything for today. I hope you liked this video. Thank you all for watching and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.